Bitcoin pushes open the doors of $34,000 while one very important thing continues to happen: retail accumulating. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. Let's jump into the video. Bitcoin, $34,400 right now, testing key resistance on the short term chart. And we're going to talk about it because it's important to watch this weekend. But I want to start here with some on chain metrics. And I can't stop thinking about this. This is a tweet from July 17th by Willy Woo. Weekly net flows to small holders. This is so key, of less than one Bitcoin. It's retail that drive Bitcoin bull markets. When they stop buying, that's a bear market warning. They haven't stopped buying. And if we look at this chart, it's just very simple to see what's going on and what's occurring on the screen. So, and let me zoom out a little bit. So you can see the price of Bitcoin obviously has come down in recent months. We know that. We're consolidating. Now, one thing to notice at the bottom of the screen is retail, the inflow to Bitcoin holders less than one Bitcoin going up. What's so key about that data is obviously it tells us retail's accumulating, meaning smaller holders accumulating. But what's so key is at the top of that last bull market, 2018, look at the retail dropping, not rising. Retail not accumulating. It's so clear. You couldn't even get a more clear picture of what's occurring right now. And we know on top of that, there's other accumulation data on chain metrics that suggest the same. Here's another tweet: coins are moving to the masses. And it says whales hold 26%, exchanges and ETFs collectively hold 17.5%, minnows hold 13.6%. Minnows are close to holding most of the supply. Minnows plus exchanges ETFs hold 31% versus whales at 26%. So if you just look at this graph, the Bitcoin supply distribution, and you can see, let me kind of zoom out again here so we can see the full chart because I'm hiding some of it. But you see minnows, just this gradual rise. And you can see whales, right? Since 2011-ish, just kind of on the decline, but minnows on the rise. Again, a very strong picture of what's occurring, the distribution of Bitcoin. And all that said, within a 50% dip. Should you own maybe just a little Bitcoin? Here's a headline to retail by Yahoo. We may have been heading into another so-called crypto winter where the price Bitcoin falls precipitously and stays down for some time, and then it goes on. Doesn't that scream long-term buy and hold? I wanted to bring up this article because it's showing me something. People are catching on to buying the dip. That whole thing, buying the fear. I really think retail is catching on, and that's illustrated in this chart right now with this current dip. It's a 50% dip. It's a big dip. And there is a lot of fear in the market. There's a lot of bears out there. But the on-chain metrics don't lie. Retail is accumulating. That's just huge data for Bitcoin right now. And we've seen dips, right, in the middle of the last bull market. And this is all the way back in 2017 area in the middle of the last bull market. But the continuation of accumulation of those retail. And we're seeing, I'm sorry, I should, the bottom of the screen is the actual retail. But my point is, we've seen dips back then, but what is the trend? It is up. And there has not been such a steep decrease as we saw at the top of the last bull market. And it's actually different. It's an increase in those wallets. So we'll continue to monitor that data, but let's pivot over to Bitcoin on the weekly chart. We are getting a nice weekly candle. And you can actually just see right now, extension from this 50-week moving average around $32,000. Bitcoin, as I do this video, getting that extension, putting in this really nice green weekly candle with that wick below the 1618 line, that support area that we were tracking to hold, the similar support that we saw in this dip in the middle of the last bull market for Bitcoin. But we start digging in, we look at the daily chart, a very critical area right now. We have this resistance area we're about to dig into on the 6-hour chart, but confluent with that, right in the middle of this resistance is the 50-day moving average. Bitcoin, right now, I mean, truly, like right now, breaking above this on the daily chart. What kind of resistance will there be in the next 5 hours, 45 minutes before this daily candle closes? Can this daily candle close above the 50-day moving average, right around $34,350. I mean, I don't think we're $100 above that area right now. Such a key area, all in the middle of this resistance for Bitcoin that we're going to look at. Now, I think one thing to note is if we go over to the 6 hour, yes, we're in resistance. We have to be mindful and ready for some type of consolidation because this could be the very beginning of the reversal that we're looking for. And this is what we have to monitor this weekend. So we have our clear Fibonacci resistance that we're in right now. What this is that last swing high before we got this downtrend of lower highs to that last swing low. And Bitcoin right now testing this key area. And let me move this box up a little bit. The key area of resistance, 35,000 down to around $33,800. Bitcoin is in it right now. Remember, the 50-day moving average right where Bitcoin is right now. And what we have to track this weekend is not only to see if Bitcoin can get the overextension from the 50-day moving average on the daily chart and close above that area, but can Bitcoin actually break to the $35,000 area and close any type of candle, 6 hour candle, daily candle above this 786 line of the resistance, 35, it's really around $35,100. Bitcoin to the upside, not that far away from a move like that. If we look at it, we're looking at it's like a 2% move for Bitcoin to test the 786 area. So if this run continues on the short term, and this is what we have to track and monitor, Bitcoin can very well get overextension on the short term, confirm the bullish reversal we've really been waiting for. And we have to be patient for this move. To the downside, be prepared. Right now, swing low that we came out of to the current swing high, Bitcoin has this this consolidation area of support down here, 31,300 to the 786, 30,400. It doesn't sound pretty. It really doesn't. But we always have to, on the way up, look out for higher low support areas. This would be a higher low from this swing low. And this could, obviously, making us be a little bit more patient, this could be the setup for the continuation and the break we need above. Remember, we have this swing high to swing low on the midterm to this resistance area. That's a Fibonacci resistance on the more of midterm that Bitcoin ultimately, that's what we're watching for. That's what we really want to see break for Bitcoin. Because if you go over to this weekly chart and we look at where the 20-week moving average is right now, that's kind of the goal for Bitcoin. That's all the way up there at $45,000. So we're still around $10,000 away from testing that area. I've been saying for a very long time now, I think at the very least, Bitcoin will test the 20-week moving average to give us our true answer of if this bull market's going to continue or not. We got the test in the entry point to the last bear market. We get the test often in downtrends. We want to see Bitcoin test this area currently around $45,000. So my point is, going back to the 6 hour chart, it all starts with these bullish reversals. So here's what the short-term bullish reversal area looks like: $35,000 at the 786. Bitcoin needs a break. We've made it to that area, getting close. And then on the midterm, $38,000 is the area to break of that 786 resistance. The 618 right around 36,000, $36,500. So a lot of resistance ahead for Bitcoin. But if there's any headline that's going to help push Bitcoin through the resistance into the continuation of this bull market, when we look at this chart, it is everything that we see here: retail accumulating in the middle of this dip, 50% dip, retail accumulating. And that's not something that happened at the top of the last bull market. So just so much technical data, on-chain metrics data that suggests that we're still in the middle of this bull market. Not trying to throw hopium out there. This has just been my opinion. And it's just really interesting that the on-chain metrics suggests all of this happening. So we'll continue to track Bitcoin this weekend to see if we can break these areas. At the end of the day, everybody, don't be surprised if we see resistance at the Fibonacci resistance. That's why it's called Fibonacci resistance. That's why we talk about these areas all of the time on this channel. We see the break down, right? Don't be surprised, but look for support to the downside. One thing I do want to note on the 6 hour, this is actually pretty cool and important. We're just approaching overbought here on this RSI on the 6 hour. Now, this is not something that's happened this entire consolidation, and you can see this. Now, you might be like, well, overbought's not like the best sign. That might indicate we're ready for kind of consolidation. That's true. It might indicate we're ready for consolidation, but this is the environment in which Bitcoin gets in when it is in kind of this uptrend. And we've seen it time and time again where we're in a very powerful bull market. And this is just what's recently transpired in this bull market so far. Look how often Bitcoin hanging out in this overbought area. Yes, it comes back down. Yes, we consolidate over and over again. And you can even see it illustrated on the charts, right? So here's a consolidation, and we're coming out of overbought a little bit, but back up to the next high. Consolidation, back up to the next high, all in this overbought area. So the 6-hour RSI, very interesting. Bitcoin for the first time since mid-April, Bitcoin entering this overbought area. Another data point on the technicals that we should keep track of. So those are my thoughts for this Saturday. I appreciate you cruising by. Hit the subscribe, trying to get to that 300,000 subscribers. Hit the like on the way out. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.